So I wanted to do a draw my life in Rec Room for some time now, but I've felt like I haven't really been ready to share certain parts of my life just yet. So a friend of mine gave me an idea: draw my Rec Room life. I am 3 years, 3 months, and 9 days old on the day of making this video. Well, in Rec Room years. And in November 14th, 2019, I had downloaded and played a free game called Rec Room for the very first time. I remember not comprehending the point of the video game, not turning off my comfort settings for months, not understanding what the rec center was, and just being amazed at the most absolute worst rooms ever made. I came across the most addicting game I had ever experienced: paintball. And if not for paintball, I don't think I would have ever really gotten back into Rec Room again, because there was just not really any games that really hooked me onto VR. A month after starting my grassless career in paintball, I met my first ever friend in VR, and we took my first ever Rec Room picture together. Her name is Almandi. We don't really talk much anymore, but I'm still friends with her today. I continued grinding paintball, and on April 11th, 2020, I played my first ever flawless game, getting a whopping 27 hits and 0 outs. Getting scores like this fueled my unhealthy addiction to paintball, and a couple weeks later, I met one of the best humans I had ever met. Her name is Lauren, and you might know her as Batgirl. Meeting Lauren is what opened my eyes to the potential and creativity of what Rec Room had to offer, because she's the one that kind of showed me the amazing community built rooms that Rec Room had to offer. Lauren is one of the people I've met in VR that I can say changed my life in so many ways for the positive, and I'm super grateful to have her as a friend. I remember telling myself, one more game, just one more game, just one more game before I go to bed. And that one last game was the game that I met her. Around this time, I knew I wanted to start YouTube, and I knew I had the patience and creativity for it, but I was just afraid to commit. I had failed a recent channel, and my biggest problem was I wasn't committed. But then I met Chaz777, the man who basically birthed my online identity. I was playing a game of paintball, and every time I killed this man, I would hear him laughing his ass off, and I loved his sportsmanship. He just thought it was hilarious how serious I took the game, and how hard I tried, and how good I was. He practically begged me to make a YouTube video so he could analyze my gameplay and movements. So on 4/20/2020, and I swear I didn't choose this date on purpose, I posted my first ever video on the MavInVR channel, specifically just for Chaz. Not only to share with him my game, but to make him laugh, which turned out to be something I was pretty good at. 1 week later, while shooting the 4th video for my channel, I met another amazing human who is also one of my best friends today, the big man Brent, aka Just Chill. This is one of my favorite videos I had ever made, because I was able to document the very moment I had met him, the very first words he said to me, the very first time I bullied him, and if you know me, I only bully people I really like. So Brent, I freaking love you, man. A couple weeks later, I posted my first ever Omegle video, which is the series that put me on the map. No one had really done this yet, and I was the first to bring this type of content to Rec Room on YouTube. And following this video, I hit my first ever 100 subscribers. I remember being so excited and freaking out about this. And then shortly after that, I remember the first time someone asked to take a picture with me in Rec Room because he noticed me from my channel. We were in the middle of a paintball game, and his Rec Room mat is I'm Loved. I remember it feeling so surreal. I was like, bro, I only have 200 subscribers. Like, how does this man recognize me? 2 videos after my thank you for 100 subscribers video, I hit 500 subscribers and got invited to my first ever podcast. The room was so well built. It was just so memorable because I was really new to VR, and here I am sitting in front of a microphone that someone had built in VR just to ask me questions, and it was just one of the coolest things I had ever experienced. Soon after that, I hit my first ever 10,000 views on a video. Seeing 5 digits on a single video just blew my mind, and so I celebrated by posting my first ever homemade steak on Instagram. I like steaks, like a lot. Guga Foods, let's collab. Learning that you could take a negative time in your life and use that negative energy into something positive was something that was just really special for me to learn. And so I was on a forklift at work one day, and I got a notification. My friend sent me a message on Instagram. Congrats on being the first clip in the Rec Room highlights, bro. Rec Room had included a clip of my Omegle video of me getting a kid to slap his friend on the forehead because he lost a bet as the intro of their highlights video. This was the second time that Rec Room had ever noticed me, the first time being when they commented on said video. On November 13th, 2020, I had been announced as one of the winners for the first ever video contest I had ever participated in. That W was one of the biggest defining moments in my YouTube and Rec Room career. It opened my eyes to different ways to make content, ways to collab with other creators both on YouTube and Rec Room, and it just drove my competitive spirit. I knew from then that video contest was something that I seriously was in love with, because ever since then, video contests have always forced me to make content in a new way and always taught me something new about myself myself as a creator. It was also then that I fell in love with how community driven the Rec Room and their staff was. I mean, you couldn't get that experience from anywhere else. This feeling of being included and interacting with the devs and the staff, and I've just never felt that in any other game, let alone a VR platform. I was then invited to the first ever RecCon event at the YouTubers panel, and to say it was a humbling experience is quite an understatement. I mean, loading into RecCon 2020 just at the main hub, for the first time I was swarmed with loads of players, basically the whole lobby, and it was both overwhelming but really heartwarming to hear all the players tell me how they appreciated my content and what I do. On January 5th, 2021, I had hit my first ever 100k views on my stereotypes video, which was the first of many to this series. I'd seen other stereotype videos, but I wanted to make my series with topics that people hadn't done yet and execute it in a more cinematic way, different from other creators. Even though I was having a great time with my YouTube and Rec Room career, I struggled every day with my hardware. I knew I needed a new PC, so on January 18, 2021, I bought a new PC, which was the same day I hit 10,000 subscribers. Not long after that, I met another awesome person in paintball. I think you get to see the pattern here. I meet a lot of people in paintball. Now, at first, this person and I basically hated each other because of how competitive we were, and we were basically each other's nemesis every game. But just like the old Call of Duty ways, which we both understand, it was how we ended up becoming friends. I mean, trash talking with this person to this day is still my favorite way of bonding with him. His name is Nex, and little did I know this was a radio man from the college he went to. He ended up shouting me out on the radio, and it was one of the coolest things I had ever witnessed. I had never thought my name would be on the radio for playing a video game. I also met a ton of friends around this time and was really learning who my main circle in Rec Room was. I ended up using some money I made from YouTube to take my family out to Florida just to thank them for supporting my dreams and always being there for me. And also, it was a perfect time to meet the crew in person for the very first time, where we went to Disneyland. I mean, this was hands down one of the best experiences of my life ever. Just the best people in my life, family, friends, and Disneyland. I mean, what more could you ask for? Oh yeah, we probably need some of that. I ended up making some steaks for them as well, and I'm pretty sure I changed Tidal Wave's life with that meal. Around this time, I also attempted to do a 24-hour live stream non-stop in paintball, where I really pushed myself a little too far. I made these challenges that I wasn't allowed to sit down or take any breaks other than potty breaks, and 8 hours in, I had puked 2 times on stream, and I had to unfortunately end that challenge. Will I ever try it again? Most likely. When will I try it again? When I get past the trauma. Give me some time. On May 11, 2021, the Sniper League was the first league I had ever joined and had been announced to be officially sponsored by Rec Room, meaning the team in first place would win a gold sniper skin. I was picked up by one of the best players of all time, Sneaky. Now this guy is incredible. This guy could play any game in Rec Room and probably be the best. He's won like every league you can think of. The dude has a gold frisbee. Who the hell has a gold frisbee? I didn't even know that was a thing. Although our team was super stacked, our team ended up in second place, but I was super proud of the numbers we put up, and I'm pretty sure I had the highest amount of kills in a single match for that league. But 5 months after, I ended up getting picked up by Sneaky again in the next Sniper League season, and we made a comeback and secured the first place title and got that gold sniper skin. On February 21st, 2022, I hit 50,000 subscribers. By this time, I had already upgraded to the Valve Index. I had won a bunch more video contests with some talented creators, and the month after that, Tidal Wave and I shared a milestone on the same day. We both hit 1 million views on a singular video on our channels. I can't make this up. It was a legendary moment. Like, I did not expect that to happen. It was great. For my birthday in June 2022, I went to see some of the crew again and to attend my first ever VidCon event in SoCal. I got to meet Sean and Corbins, some Rec Room staff members, and fellow YouTube creator Chubby or Snail. Oh yeah, and one of my best friends today, Pasta T. Meeting Pasta T in real life and having her show us around some of the best places to eat was probably the best time of being there. Because, come on, food, you can't go wrong with good food. I began getting into building and expanding my work as a creator, and that was when I made my first ever featured invention, which was this really elegant piano shelf type thing. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. I also built my first ever custom dorm. It was a paintball themed dorm skin based on the map Spillway, and one of my favorite video contests I had ever competed in was a fully produced and mastered original track that I had wrote and composed in just 1 week. This was by far the hardest and most challenging video contest that I had ever been in, but the song is now available on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, I mean, you name it. The link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. It is probably one of my most favorite creations of all time. And probably the last thing I want to share, Chubby or Snail told me about a capsule that Rec Room had hidden somewhere in California as a part of Rec Room lore. As soon as he told me, I decided I would leave work a couple hours early to drive about an hour away to this location. Apparently some people found out where exactly it was tucked away in California, and so I drove up there, and while I was driving up there, Pasa T warned me about some others that had already been in the location looking for this capsule as I was driving there. But as I arrived, they had left without finding it. I got out of the car and literally found it within 3 minutes of searching. I felt quite bad for the people that were looking for hours. But being a part of Rec Room lore is one of the coolest things I had ever experienced, and that leads us to today. I now have 81.2 thousand subscribers on YouTube and 28,000 subscribers on Rec Room. I've won a sponsored league and 5 video contests, and without your support, none of this would be possible. And without my mom and dad's support and the people that just love me unconditionally, I would not be as happy as I am today. So I appreciate all of you guys for watching this video and everything you guys do to support me, and I think that's it. Thank you. See you. Bye.